Hello, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy. I want to welcome you to Facebook Live, A Course in Miracles. And we're going to continue to talk about and complete today how to stop getting stuck in the past, how to let the past go, how to let the past things that you're using to make yourself unhappy at any level go. How do you see people for who they are right now as opposed to what you think you went through them or with somebody else in the past. This class is about finding the present from A Course in Miracles. That's the name of it, Finding the Present. And so you're going to be, we're going to be on page 252. We're going to be on page 252. And I think we're going to start out with, we're going to start with paragraph 7. All right, cool. All right, we're going to start out with our theme song from A Course in Miracles. It's one of the Course in Miracles workbook lessons. It's called, I Am Not a Victim of the World I See. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Or you could say, I'm not a victim of the world I see. Right? Sometimes just the way you say stuff make all the difference in the world. I love you. I love you. Same words. Same words. It just depends on the energy behind it. Pay particular attention to the words. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim now. Say what? Of the world I see. Oh yeah. I'm not a victim of my ball. I'm not a victim of my paw. I'm not a victim of events, circumstance at all. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. You got to put a little temptation in there. I'm not a victim of the future, not a victim of the past, not a victim of anything that really doesn't last. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. What? Yeah, I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim, no, of the world I see. There used to be a singing group called The Temptation, and they would go, then they go over to the side, then they go over to the other side, and then they go this way, and then they go that way, and then they go. Say what? I'm not a victim of the North, I'm not a victim of the South, not a victim of anything. Say what comes out my mouth, not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. Yeah, Come out now. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim. You're not a victim of the world you see. You're not a victim of the world. You're not a victim of the world. You are not a victim of the world you see. You are not a victim of the world you see. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim of the world you see. Do you know that you are not a victim? Do you know that you are not a victim? Do you know that you are not a victim? Do you know that you are not a victim? You're not a victim of the world you see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. We're not a victim of the world we see. Say what? I'm not a victim see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wasn't that cool?
Yes.
That was my brother John Christmas. If you want to get that song, a bunch of cool songs from A Course in Miracles, go to johnchristmas.com and you can download them for free. And all these songs of Course in Miracles are related to Course in Miracles lessons. The Course in Miracles is a course in how to look at things another way. That's what it's about. Because do you know that the way that you feel right now is coming from what you're telling yourself right now and the meaning that you're giving everything in your life right now. That's what's determining how you're feeling right now. So we've been talking about how to let go of the past, especially let go of the past when it comes to other people. How do you let go of the past? Because the Course in Miracles teaches that there's just one little guideline, especially if you're here for the first time. Let me give you the rules. The rules are from the Course itself. It says, it's going to trip you out with Snoop Dogg, come on.
I'm waiting for the rules. It's so dramatic.
Oh, I know. Wasn't it perfect? I wasn't even looking down. I know. How dare God take over? Who you think you are? The creator of all that is? I'm Earl. So the Course in Miracles says, if you're going to get anything out of this, he says, remember only this. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. What did you just say, Earl? You don't have to believe what I'm about to say to you from A Course in Miracles. You don't have to accept what I'm about to tell you, and you don't have to even welcome it. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. You might not like everything I say. You might not like everything I say. Some of the ideas you may resist. Some of the ideas you might find hard to believe. I might say some things that you feel are hard to believe. That you go, this is hard to believe. That's how you can tell. You'll say, that's hard to believe. That's when you know you've heard something that's hard to believe. You'll say, that's hard to believe. So if you find yourself saying that, he says, well, you're going to do that. So some of the stuff you hear may be quite startling. You're not, I love this line, it says, you are not being asked to judge. Right? I hardly need to be standing in front of a room full of judges. So I'm not asking you to judge me today. I'm not asking you to judge, right? Then he goes, you're not being asked to judge the ideas at all. It says, well, how will you know if the ideas are true? But the Course teaches, well, their use. That if you use it, then it's going to have meaning to you. Anything you use has meaning to you, and then it will show you that it's true. So all you have to do to know anything I'm about to share with you is true, it says, is use the ideas. And if you use the ideas, you'll see that it's true. And I like to always remind myself that it's never an accident wherever I am, because there's no such thing as accidents. So it's not an accident that you're here. It's not an accident that you all are online from around the world. It's no accident. So we're talking about finding the present. If you got the book, and there's some loaner copies up here, then we're going to be on page 'The Course says, you really think you can't see unless little pieces of glass are placed before your eyes. I go, that's right. That's true. I love it. I love it. You think you have to have little pieces of glass to see? Yeah. We're going to be on page 252, 252, 252 in the text, paragraph 7. And I'm going to do this in plain language. So I'm going to share something with you. I want you to think about some situation, something from the past, something you know you need to let go of. The truth is more effective when you apply it to something specifically. So is there anything or anybody or any situation that you know you need to let go of? that you need to let that go. Well, he says, if you want to leave, if you want to get out of the thing and you want to get out of that memory, the Course says the present offers you your brothers, which the Course says brothers doesn't have anything to do with physical gender. When it says brothers, it says a brother is an equal. So a word you could use for brothers is equal. So when it says the present offers you your equals in the light, which is the truth, that would unite you with them. That's a fancy way of saying right now is when I can join with you. If I really want to join with you, I can only do it right now. The present, I love how he says it again. It says the present is offering you and your equals in the truth that will unite you with them, because it's the truth that will unite us. And what is the truth? The truth is that we all deserve love. I deserve to be happy just like you deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves love. So we can right now join in the idea of love. And so if I'm going to love you, then I'm going to free you from your past. That's how you can tell if somebody loves you. They're never holding the past against you. They're never holding the past against you. Somebody that loves you never is holding what you did in the past against you now. Someone who really loves you is not holding the past against you now. Someone that really loves you does not hold the past against you now. They actually, as the person that loves you, I want to free you from the past. And I can do it right now. That's how strong and powerful I am. Would you want to see me do that?
Yeah.
All right. You ready? Your past is gone. Now, is that not true? That is true. See? Anything that's real, you can do it now. So don't worry about letting go of the past. You can't not let go of what's already gone. I said again, you cannot not let go of what's already gone. She's been gone 3 weeks, dude. By the time you let her go, she's already gone. You having sex with a ghost. Okay. Ghosts are kind of freaky, so that's okay. Okay, now, that's a spiritual ghost. They go either way. People without a sense of humor hate my classes. They avoid them like the plague. Okay? Because the book is so simple, it's so funny. If I want to see you in the light, then all I have to do is join with the truth in you. Then you go, well, how do I do that? I need to stop bringing up your past all the time. I need to free you from what's gone. So now, then he says, but I want you to do this. Ask yourself, would you hold the past against the person? Would you hold what's gone against the person? So we're getting instructions. Okay, I want to join with you all right now. Then I have to make the decision that I'm not going to hold your past against you right now. And you know what? I don't know your past. So that's easy. How can I hold a past against you that I don't know anything about? So I really don't want to hear about your past. Because that's going to keep me from dealing with you as you are right now. You don't need to paint me a picture of what you used to be and what you've done. Because it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because I'm still going to want peace for you right now. All I want is peace for you right now, and I want peace for me right now. That's the only thing that's important to me. And the only thing you sharing your past could do is maybe not bring me into peace. Might make me want to hold back. I don't need to know your past. You don't need to know mine. And it's easy because you can't see it until I tell you about it. You don't know anything about my past until I tell you. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Does anybody know anything about your past unless you tell them? Okay, so you're giving people an ego every time you see them about how much you talk about what you used to be. So the Course is saying, if you do hold the past against another person, you are choosing to remain in the darkness. And then I said, well, what is darkness? It says, well, darkness is the past. So if you are going to hold the past against somebody else, you are choosing to remain in the past, and the past isn't there. So that means you're actually refusing to accept the truth and the love that's being offered you. So how can I tell if you're refusing the love that I'm offering you right now? Because you'll still be trying to remaining in the past and just talking to me about the past and relating to me from the past. So you're actually refusing the love that I'm offering you, the truth that I'm offering you now. So for everybody in the room, I'd like to say, yes, but. Because they're always using some yes buts out there. So I just want to say that for the group. I hear Earl, yes, but. Yes, I heard you take that. Could be such but. Anybody familiar with that voice? You might have done it a couple of times since I've been talking. Okay, every reason you come up with not to practice this just means you want to keep the thing going that you're already going through. If somebody's giving you the way out of something and all you're trying to figure out is how it's not true, that means you want to stay in the situation you're in and nothing changes and then you complain. Because nothing is going to change as long as you're not ready to look at things another way. So the question is always, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? I said, wow. The book said that, whoa, that's a good question. I know the answer. I want to be right.
Amen.
I want to be right more than I want to be happy, because the answers to how to be happy are all around us. The challenge is the distribution problem. So the Course is saying, well, I want you to just read me because it's going to change your mind, because you have to change your mind to read me. See, to read this book, you have to change your mind to even be able to read it. If you try to read the Course in Miracles and you're not really ready for it, it will look just like you're looking at English words, but you won't understand anything that it says. And so it's because it's so simple. It says, do you want to see that person in a new light? Said, well, you need to join with them. Okay, well, how do you join with that person? You have to free them from the past. What if I don't want to free them from the past? Well, you're choosing to remain in the past, in the darkness that's really not there. So it's you that's refusing to accept the love that's being offered you. I'm giving you a chance to have peace with me regardless of what we went through together. You are insisting on holding on to what you think I did to you in the past. So you're refusing the love that I'm offering you right now. Isn't that deep? Deep. Then it says, for the light of perfect vision is freely given as is freely received, which means you could see things, you can only see things truly when you're seeing things without limit. See, if I really want to see you all truly, I have to see you as unlimited beings. So until I see you as unlimited beings, I haven't seen you yet. Because vision is unlimited. When you can see, he says it's unlimited. That's how you can tell when you're really seeing something, is you see it as unlimited and you free it. And you extend it. I don't see you until I'm freeing you. Because until I'm freeing you, I don't know who you are. See, if I'm limiting you, I'm trying to get you to act like I want you to act, so you're really acting out a role in a script. But I might not really be seeing the real you. So everybody you try to control is a person you don't know. Then they do something unexpected, freak you out, and you don't realize that it's all coming from you trying to limit them. Remember, some people are going to always do what they really, really, really want to do, whether you like it or not. Don't ever forget that. If it's something a person, I mean really now, I mean not sort of really, I mean if it's something that a person really wants to do, and they have the opportunity to do it, and they can do it, they are going to do it. I don't care what you think that is. So the Course is letting me know that since that's true, then what you do is you don't attack people, because then if you don't attack them, they will communicate and they'll share and they'll reveal themselves when they feel safe. So I can either make you so safe that you don't hide anything from me, or I can make you feel so afraid that you still do what you want to do, but you're going to hide it. Those are the two choices that we give people all the time. Because if it's something they really want to do, they're going to do it. Right? So I'm trying to get to a level of consciousness where it's not about me trying to control what you do. I want it to be about me not caring. If it's bringing you peace and it's not violent and it's not attacking, then that's me letting go of your past so I can relate to you in terms of who you are right now. That's the challenge sometimes about going home and hanging around with your relatives, even though you mean well, is they still have a tendency to think you're the same person you were when they lived with you. And that might have been 50 years ago. But they're still relating to you in terms of the past, because without the past, they won't think they know you. Wow. Without their past, without thinking of you in terms of your past, they won't think they know you. And that's what we do to each other. If I see you, Patrick, and I can remember the past about you, then I go, I know Patrick.
And you can judge me.
And, totally judge you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. You give me a lot of stuff to judge, too. It's not like I got to go searching. It's not like I got to go searching and everything. You know. That's right. What happens in sanity stays in sanity. Every sentence in this book is a trip. It says, I love this, it's so poetic. In this one still dimension of time that doesn't change, where there is no sight of what you were. See, right now, I can't see your past. So he said, in this still dimension of time, I cannot see what you were. So I can really look at you as innocent, and then I can call the witnesses to your innocence to shine on me. In other words, if I look for innocence in you, really the innocence in you will see the innocence in me. See, a person who is innocent, they see innocence, and a person who is guilty only sees guilt. So people who think guiltily and people who think innocently can't communicate with each other because they see the other person unlike the way they see themselves. I see myself as innocent, you see me as guilty, though when you're talking to me, we're going to have a hard time communicating because I'm not going to allow you to put a guilt trip on me. So you're going to have a hard time talking to me because I'm not going to let you control me with guilt. So you don't understand what I'm talking about. If I say you innocent, they go, well, you're not innocent, I'm not innocent. So people who believe they're guilty and separate, they have a hard time communicating with each other. So if I look for the innocence in you right now, he says that will call his witnesses to shine on you, but innocence shines on you because you call for it. So how do I know I really want something? That's a good question. How do you know when you really want something? You want to know that? How do you know when you really want something? You give it. Because a conscious being knows giving is how you receive. So everything you want, you just give it. If I want peaceful relationships, then I give peace to people. If I want fun, I try to be a means for joy. If I want good loving, I give good loving. If I want communication, then I go into the party and I start to talk to people, even if I don't know them. I'm going to give whatever I want. So he's saying here that if you really want to see the innocence in someone, then you have to begin to see it in yourself, and you have to also want to see a witness to it in them too. And then it says right here, in this one still dimension of time, the reason why I read the quote is because the way it's written is so unusual. In this one still dimension of time that doesn't change, that's now, where there's no sight of what you used to be, you're going to look on the innocent child and you're going to call the witnesses to innocence to shine on you. But the good stuff from other people it's going to shine on you, and it can shine on you. But the good things that's in others can only shine on you when you call it forth, and you're calling it forth every time you give it. Because if you really giving it, then they won't deny it. So I said again, if you're really giving it, they will not deny the truth in you. Why is it that people won't deny the love in you and the truth in you? Because you look for it in them. And then that's how you find it. What? Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, I want you all to have some cool stuff coming through you all instead of the stuff that I think upsets me. But I need to call the good stuff out of you. And then you won't deny the truth. And so I'm looking for the truth in you, and then I find it. Okay, so if I'm looking for a lie, and I'm looking for you to be a liar, I'm going to find that. If I'm looking for the truth in you and the love in you, I'm going to find that. If I'm looking for the liar in you and what I can't trust in you, I'm going to find that whether it's there or not. I'll make it up if it's not there. The person could be perfectly trustworthy, and I still make up that they weren't. So you're going to always find in people, he says, what you're looking for. So if I want to see innocence in you and joy in you, and I want to see it in me, then I've got to call it out of you. And how do I call it out of you? He says, because I'm looking for it in you. I'm calling out my wallet because I'm looking for it in the house. Whatever you're looking for, you call it. What? Whatever you're looking for, you're calling. What? Whatever you're expecting, you're calling it. You expect life to treat you like you're a crap, then you're calling for it. Whatever it's like giving us one spiritual law after another. Then it says, now is the time for salvation. And the Course says salvation means right-mindedness. It means forgiveness. It means peace. Okay? So he says, this is the time. If I'm ever going to have peace, he said, if you're ever going to have peace, folks, you're going to have it now. Okay? He says, for this is the release from time. So you're not going to have, this is really deep. He's saying you're not going to have real peace until you know you're eternal. What? You're not going to have real peace until you know what you really are is eternal. That what you really are does not die. As long as you think you can die, you'll never know what real peace feels like. As long as you think you can die, you'll never know what real peace feels like. As long as you think you can die, you'll never know what real peace feels like. As long as you think you're separate, you won't know what real peace feels like. As long as you think you can die, as long as you think you can die, you'll never know what real peace feels like, because nobody feels real peace who thinks they can be killed. Nobody feels real peace who thinks they can be killed. So you will never know real peace until you know you are something that is eternal. Now, most people that I talk to don't talk like this. That's why I don't talk to people a lot. Because I don't want to hear what they got to say. Yeah. I mean, I'm just being straight up. I don't even want to hear what most people got to say, because most people are going to talk to me like they're humans. No being that's waking up wants to all the time hear about their human identity. They already know they got a human identity. And it's time for us to get in touch with our spiritual identity. And so when you get in touch with your spiritual identity, how can you tell when you're with someone that's helping you get in touch with your spiritual identity? When you're with someone that's really valuable, that's really helping you realize your spiritual identity, they're going to be reinforcing your innocence. They're going to be reinforcing your innocence. They will not be trying to make you feel guilty. They will not be trying to use anger to make you feel guilty enough to do what they want you to do. Somebody that loves you is not using anger as a tool to get you to do what they want you to do. So the Course in Miracles is saying, if you want to have salvation, you need to be released from the idea that you are something that can die. Now, there are people watching this and people may in the room, you get exactly what I'm saying. Some people are listening to me and they're going, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, that's okay. Everybody's not going to understand you. But the ones who are supposed to will. The ones who don't even know what you're saying, so they can't get mad at you. How can you get mad at somebody you don't even know what they're talking about? That's what's so cool about this. I know people who really don't get the Course. I know to them I sound like this. That's what I sound like. That's exactly what the hell is he talking about? Right, that's my protection. Right, you can't judge what you don't understand and know about, so I'm safe. I can tell the truth in the world and never get attacked. I do it all the time. I've been doing it 40 years. People just either hear me or they don't. Or they come hear me one time, never come back. You know, the system is so beautiful. The people that resonate to you, they are drawn to you, and you don't have to do anything to get it. And the people who are not best for you, they are repelled from you, and then you got to try to get them. I never chase anybody unless I know I can catch them.
That's good.
Oh, I don't. I have to know. I have to know we already tight. Then we do the dance of how we got tight. I got, that's the way mine works. It's like, I got to already know you find me irresistible, and I find you irresistible. And at that point, we are not resisting each other at all. So now we can do the dance, because we know in the end, we're going to all get what we want. Because we already know how we feel about each other. Then it's fun. It's great to have to go out on a date and wonder if you're going to get lucky.
And that expression is so ancient in my head.
It's just real. It's like I'm like the Taylor Swift of the truth. Right? What is it that makes Taylor Swift so relatable? Just that. She has a genius at communicating through her music the way that particular age group thinks and looks at things. I'm never, ever, ever gonna go back with you anymore. How many times have you heard that? She just says it to music. And so they relate totally. I just broke up and I don't want to see your face. It's like, yeah. And that's what the Course in Miracles is. It's so straight in our face and it's so simple that people say they don't understand it. Like when he says, I want you to reach all your equals, and I want you to touch them with the touch of the innocent child of love. So I'm going to become innocent enough and love myself enough that when I touch you, then I am healing you and you are healing me. Because if I'm coming from a safe, loving place, and you're being touched by someone who's coming from a safe, loving place, then that is my job. My task is to be in this world and not be another one of the guilty, angry, projecting, blaming, attacking folk that's walking the street. That I know why I'm on the planet. I'm on the planet to be a peaceful, loving person. And people think if you're a peaceful, loving person, you're going to be taken advantage of. I'll say it to you again. People who are full of anger, conflict, and grievances and don't wish anybody well, they are repelled by loving people. Loving, peaceful people repel the drama kings and queens. The drama queens and kings and queens, they are attracted to other drama kings and queens. When you're peaceful, they're not attracted to you. When you're peaceful, they don't attack you because they don't even freaking know you exist. Peaceful people are invisible to regular people because they're too caught up in their drama. So you're protected. They all upset, right? They mad, and they seeing hate and violence and upset, and you happy. You just trying to get their attention. And they so busy looking at, and what happened to me in the past, and what somebody did to me in the past, and this wouldn't work out in the past, and this when somebody took advantage of me in the past, and you in the present wanting to give them peace, you going, and they don't see it. But then there's somebody else who's just as much in drama and fear and upset show up, and then they're like, hey, baby, what's your name? Peaceful people do not attract drama kings and queens. They attract themselves. And then they're arguing and fighting and saying, if you were different, I'd be happy. No, if you were different, I'd be happy. They get all that anger and all that hate, and all that anger and hate get to the point that they call it, I'm hot. I want to make love to you, baby. Where do you think most physical passion comes from? It comes from anger. I ain't been mad in a long time. I'm so crazy I get dizzy.
I was dizzy lately. I didn't know.
Oh, the Course talks about it. The Course talks about it. He said, do not underestimate the level of y'all's insanity. It's more than you think. I love the way it talks to us. It's like, I love you, but y'all crazy. And so I'm so sane, I'm going to send a part of me to help y'all out. And I'm going to put that part of me in all of you all. It's on the inside of you. Now what you got to do is get rid of the blocks to keep you from knowing I'm there. And hearing me is what truth and love says. It's in you. But it's blocked by you. Because you remember in the past, and you need to let the past. And then I go, well, what is the past I most need to let go of? Then the voice says, your past learning that the world taught you. And what is the main learning that you need to let go of? He said, well, the learning that you're separate. That you're separate from each other, that you're not connected, that we're not one. So it looks like there's some different people in front of me and online, but I've got to remember in my mind that you're really one with me and that you really are me, and we're all pretending that we don't know that so that we can have the experience of thinking we're separate human beings. The reason why you think you're a separate human being, and the only reason why you could believe you're a separate human being, is that you have to forget your oneness. You have to forget that we're one. Then people go, well, how do you do that? How do we forget? Through pleasure and pain. What? Because pleasure and pain makes you think you're a body. You feel really good because you get a massage. You go, ooh, okay, it's making me think I'm a body. If I fall and skin my knee, that pain makes me think I'm a body. So the way we forget who we really are is through our senses, physical senses. You feel like it, you look like it, so you must be it. But this is the way you're looking at the world. He said, the Course says you're looking at the world as if through a pair of glasses that are dark. And so and how do you know you're looking at your world through dark glasses? What the Spirit said, well, the way you know is how much unhappiness you have. That's how you know you're wrong in everything you're looking at. So you're the last one to think you're right when you're upset. I cuss God out right at that moment. So the Course in Miracles says, I want you to call people to witness to your oneness. Spirit is calling you to join it. So love is calling you to join it. So someone that loves you, something that loves you wants to join with you. Something that feels afraid of you wants to separate from you. Your voice has a part in the redemption. Your voice has a part in the song of gladness and thanksgiving for the light of the Creator to the light. In other words, the light that is shining forth from you is the witness that your light comes from God. See, I want so much love to shine forth from me that you all go, Earl has got to have come from God. Anybody that's that loving did not come from North Memphis. You understand what I'm saying? I want so much love to come through me that you go, this guy's tapped into something. And I don't have to worry about you wanting to go out with me. If you ain't ready for that level of love, I'd be the last person you give me your phone number. Because you need somebody crazier than me. You know what I'm saying? You all have done it. You've studied the truth or tried to improve yourself and went right out and had a relationship with somebody who's crazier than you. How many don't raise their hands and they ever went with somebody that looked like they weren't quite as aware as you are? Is anybody ever going to leave me out here hanging? Okay. All right. Okay. So I found out when you give people more love than they think they deserve, do you know what they do? They mistrust you. In your mind, you're going, dog, I'm giving all this great love. I'm giving up all this great love. I should be getting a ton of love back. Yeah, they can receive as much as they believe about themselves. But the minute that you go over that, they think, okay, what is the game Earl's trying to run down on me? He's just giving me so much love and appreciation and acknowledgement. He got to be, he's a con artist. Right? But that's because of the limit of their capacity to receive. So as you begin to wake up, you want to be with equals, or if anything, someone slightly ahead of you. Because they can take all the love you got to give. And they can see the sincerity of it. Because they love themselves too. So they don't look at you as a con artist. They say, oh, thank you for giving me what I deserved. And I'm going to give you the love you deserve too. So you want to love people who are on a similar level as you if you can. Yeah, does that make sense to everybody? I'm going to check in with you. Because the part of us that doesn't love us are always trying to get us to get involved with somebody who really is afraid of love. And a person that's afraid of love is a person that's afraid of freedom. So the more limited a person wants to be or limit others, you know you're getting involved with a fearful person. And the Course has already taught us that fearful people can be vicious. That's what a war is. It's vicious, fearful people. Wow. I would read this stuff and I go, oh man. He says, so what do you want to do? He says, I want you to shine on your equals. So what I want you to do is I want you to remember your Creator, for you will remember your Creator as you call forth the witnesses to God's creation. Now take the word God, throw the word God out, and then watch what happens when I use the word love. If I use the word love. Reach out to all your equals and touch them with the touch of the innocent child of love. In timeless union with the innocent child of love is your continuity unbroken because it's shared. Love's guiltless child is only light. There is no darkness in you anywhere. You are whole. So call your equals, call your partners, call your friends, call your family to witness to your wholeness, your oneness, your happiness. Because love is calling you to join with it. Spirit is calling you to join with it. Happiness is calling you. Happiness is calling you. Happiness is calling you. Happiness is calling you. Love is calling you. What is it calling you to do? He says, well, love is calling you to join with it. Join with it. When love is coming at you, join with it. Don't run away from it, but you have to be able to recognize what love is. Well, love would never attack you, and love would never use your past to keep it from loving you right now. So nobody that loves you is holding your past against you except somebody that doesn't want to love you. And how guilty did you feel for choosing out of that relationship? I don't have any guilt about choosing out of a relationship with somebody that don't love me. So if I see that you don't love me and I don't love you and we're trying to make each other feel guilty and only focus on the past, then I hope you leave me. It'll be the kindest thing you could ever do. Just leave me. And I love myself too much to try to cling to you if you don't love me. So go cling to somebody else who doesn't know how to love, and then y'all can fight about who's clinging right. And for Star Trek people, it makes you a Klingon. Anybody wearing Star Trek know there's some Klingons in there. Have you ever clung to somebody that wasn't even there? They had been gone. And you was like clinging to them in your mind. That's how you know you didn't really want them. If you're serious, you pick up the phone. Okay. So then, of course, then it says, did y'all notice it was easier when I said love? Some of you all get it. It says the loving light that shines forth from love's child is the witness that its love is of its creator. Don't forget, Course in Miracles students, the Course in Miracles is only ever talking about love and fear. How to tell the difference between the two so you would choose love and let go of fear. That's the whole purpose of the book, to teach you how to tell the difference between what's real and what's not, when you're getting ready to fool yourself again, and when you're choosing something that's good for you. That's the whole purpose of the book, is to teach you how to tell the difference between when you get ready to make a mistake and when you're doing something right. It's the only purpose of this book is to teach you how to tell the difference between when you're listening to your true voice, your higher self, your real inner voice, and when you're listening to, he calls it the voice you made up. Because they sound the same. The voice of the Holy Spirit in me sounds just like my voice. And the voice of the craziness in me sounds just like my voice. So it's not the sound of the voice that's going to be different. It's going to be the content of the voice. It's going to be what the voice is saying to you. So you got two voices, and you got to learn how to tell the difference between when you're listening to the voice that's going to jam you up and when you're listening to the voice that's just going to give you a lot of love and a lot of peace. And you know you don't know the difference if you're unhappy and unfulfilled. That means you don't know the difference. That's what it means. So then the Course says, okay, then what do I do? He said, then you need to recognize you need a teacher. So the first thing I want you to do, he says in the book, is resign. He says, resign as your own teacher, which you were sure to do if you're honest about what your teacher has done for you. How successful have you been at making yourself happy, Earl? Are you still seeing your patterns in your relationships? Do you still go through illness sometimes? And no, he's like, the voice just asks those kind of questions. You need to resign. I'm telling you and telling me and telling everybody watching me, you need to resign. All unhappy people in my audience. Boop, 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 boop. Every unhappy person is listening to me. Every person that's afraid and angry and upset. You need to resign as your own teacher and let your true inner self be your teacher. And learn how to communicate with it. The last person you ought to be listening to is you. When you're miserable and unhappy. When I say you, and you know what you I'm talking about, the world self. I call it the world self. The one with the social security number. In case you want me to break it down a little bit more, just to you to think you got a social security number is the last one you need to be listening to. You need to say, I want to know the other part of me, the greater part of me, the expansive part of me, the spiritual part, the part of me that doesn't have my issues. Wow. Okay. And I would rather hear this than what I hear most people talk about. Does anybody here would rather hear something like this in terms of thoughts of separation? Okay. Just want to check in. Because sometimes I think people are in a hurry to get back out and listen to the crazy stuff. Right? It's like, oh my God, I've heard as much as this I can hear. He's told me I deserve love for an hour. I got to get the hell out of here. This is boring. Not to me. Because I found out I could just read this book and watch my problems be solved. It was the weirdest thing. I call it reading myself out of my challenges. I found out years ago that if I had a crisis going on in my physical life, no matter what it was, if I was to get quiet and read this book until I felt some level of peace, I have never seen the situation not resolve itself. Because if you're reading it, for a minute you're forced to look at something differently from how you would normally look at it. And so the fact that you're reading is giving that space for spirit to solve the problem for you, because you are not focused in on it. You're focused in on the solution. I'm saying this because I need to remember it, and I really hope some of you remember it, but if you don't, that's okay. Okay? I want to hear this, so I'm going to say it. That's because that's how you make sure you hear what you want to hear, right? So then he tells us, he says it right here. God, I love this stuff. In paragraph 9, he says, shine on your equals in remembrance of your Creator, for you will remember your Creator as you call forth what? The witnesses to love's creation. So those you heal, those you make happy, they bear witness to your healing. So how can you tell when you are truly healed? Those whom you heal bear witness to your healing. Those who you love, they bear witness to your loving. If I'm really giving you the love, you will show it back to me. Somehow or another, you will witness that love back to me. For in their wholeness, in your wholeness, I'll see my own wholeness. So if I want to see how cool I am, if I want to see how loved I am, then it's in your coolness that I'll see my coolness. It's in your wholeness that I'll see my wholeness. So I'm going to be in relationships as much as possible with people who I like. I don't choose people who are challenged and then put all my energy into trying to get over the challenging relationship with them the way I used to do when I was still asleep. So I would not give the people who I got along with and who gave me a lot of love and peace, I wouldn't give them the crux of my attention. I would give my attention to the person that was giving me the hard time, and then I would think it was all about us working out how we can finally love each other. But that's the slow way. If I can witness to you that I love you, then it's easier for you to witness that love back to me. So if I start out with who I already appreciate in the very beginning, then it's easier for me to call that love out of the people that I don't get along with. See, if I'm really happy and I'm around somebody that's not happy and I'm really happy, they don't affect my happiness. I keep asking, does that make sense? When you're really centered and you are really happy, nobody can shake that. So you can be around anybody, they're not going to bring you down. But if you are not witnessing to innocence and love in each other, then you can be pulled off center by anything. So it tells us, he says, as your hymns of praise and gladness rise to your Creator, as your praise rises to love, love will return your thanks and clear answer to your call. It can never be that God's child, check this out, it can never be that you call upon God. It can never be that you call upon your Creator. It can never be that you call upon Spirit and remain unanswered. It's no such thing as calling on somebody that loves you and they don't answer you. Love's call to you is only your call to love. You're calling for love. You're calling for love. You're calling for love. How do you know you're calling for love? Because you'll say everybody else wants love. So every time you say everybody else wants love, you're calling love to come to you. So if I say all of you want love, all of you want freedom, all of you want peace, that's how I called it to myself. He gave me the formula. I said it again. If I want love and abundance and peace to come to me, I have to see you all as wanting love and abundance and peace, which is hard for me to do if I don't like you. That's why I say cheat. Be around people you like. Because this is the way it works. You ever seen a glass overflow? Right? And so if the glass is overflowing and you're drinking from what is overflowing from the glass always stays full, but other people are benefiting too. So your abundance has got to be great because it's got to overflow into everyone else's lives. So just enough is not abundance. You're just getting by is not abundance. And the Course says abundance is your natural state. How do I see that abundance? The way that I see that abundance is to call it forth in you. How do I call it forth in them? By saying they want abundance and peace and love and health and happiness just like you do. See, that's too easy. Because the Course in Miracles says anything that the truth tells you to do, God tells you to do. So I'm going to tell you how you can tell the difference. If the Creator tells you to do it, you'll be willing and able to do it. And it'll be something you can do right now. Well, if it's something that God is telling you to do, it'll be something you're willing and able to do, and you can do it right now, because right now is the only time that is. So if all your plans have to do with the future, you can be rest assured you're not listening to the voice of truth in you. I went, boy, I'm just sharing. This is what this book is indicating and saying. It's like, I'm going to tell you, Earl, how to tell the difference when you're listening to the voice of love and when you're listening to the voice of fear. But if you haven't suffered enough, you won't want to hear the way out. If you haven't suffered enough, you will not want to hear the answer. If you haven't suffered enough, you will not want the answer. If you still want to suffer, you still won't want the answer. But just what you just sweetest little innocent suffering thing that ever was. Nothing is going to condemn you. Nothing is going to punish you. Nothing's going to make you care more about yourself than you already do. Haven't you noticed that the universe leaves you alone? I mean, it's obvious that the universe wants you to do whatever you want to do because it doesn't interfere with nothing you're trying to do. Wow, that's so deep. If I went to jump off the top of this building, nothing's going to stop me. The universe allows you to do whatever you want to do. And I want to love you more. I want to get rid of everything that makes me not like you. I want to get rid of everything from my past to keep me from enjoying you. I want to get rid of everything that makes you deal with me as if I'm this black guy named Earl Purdy. Because I'm not this black guy named Earl Purdy. I'm a spiritual being playing the role of Earl Purdy in this play. And I'm here to tell you, y'all about to get fired. You were here to demonstrate happiness. What the hell happened? Right? And then the truth said, well, the minute you asked for help, then all of a sudden everything started coming into your life that would teach you how to think another way. But I'm going to send you people who love you so much, you'll know God must be real. But I got to prepare you for that. So that when that person or that situation shows up, you will not recognize it or get rid of them. All right. Oh, I'm glad I don't let my subject matter get in the way of what I have to say. Do you know that you don't even know that the love is in you? So how will you know the love is in you? You're going to find the love through the people that are going to witness love back to you. Because having given them the love, finally, they are going to return it to you. So everybody you see in love, everybody you see in truth, they're going to bring your love and your truth closer to your awareness. Everybody you see in truth, everybody you see in love, those people are going to bring love closer to you. Because do you know what happens with love? Love always leads to love. Love will always take you to love. So anything that ended up in fear didn't start out in love. Fear leads to fear, love leads to love. So the Course says to us, love always leads to love, but the sick, who are the sick? Who are the sick? When the Course in Miracles says you're sick, what does that mean? He says, well, it means you are somebody who's asking for love. Anybody that's asking for love is sick. I went, wow, man, that's deep. So he says, and since you're asking for love, that's the only sickness there is thinking that there is no love. The only sickness there is thinking there is no love. So those who are sick are people who are asking for love. So anybody that's sick, anybody that's unhappy, anybody that's violent, anybody that's mean, anybody that's crazy, they are just asking for love, but most of all, they are sick. So they are going to be grateful for you giving the love. The truly sick are grateful. The truly sick are grateful. The truly sick are grateful. Somebody that's sick and they know they're sick, they're grateful for the love. They're grateful for the healing. So the only people who are really sick and the only people that are really being healed are those who are grateful. And so the joy that the person that you give love to, who's asking for love, who's hoping somebody will see their call for love, the Course in Miracles says their joy in being in your face, they're going to shine. And they're going to shine with holy thanks. God, thank you for giving me the love. Thank you for giving me the appreciation. Thank you for caring about me. Thank you for helping me. You see that joy on my face from you helping me? You see that gratitude on my face? You see how happy I am that you see the person that you really helped. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to see the witness to the help that you gave because they are going to be shining on you in love. So how many people around you are shining on you in love? I was in the bench just the other night, and the person came up to me and said, "Just give me a hug." And she just hugged me. And then she went on about her business. That happens to me more than you think. It's tricky when it happens on the elevator. You know, I'm ready to get my mace out. Hey! You know what I'm saying? I'm a truth student. I got my mace affirmation in 45. I'm going to pay up to God. You know? You know, I got to wear me some guns in the church. I have faith in God, but I got a Uzi. Just in case my faith isn't up to snuff. I'm going to take up the slack with this Uzi. The Course in Miracles says the world doesn't end in violence or punishment or all the stuff we say. He says, you know how the world ends? He says, in laughter. It's going to be so funny to you one day that you ever thought anything about this came from love or God. It's going to be like a joke. And you go, oh, the joke was on me. The Course says this is a joke that we forgot to laugh at. And so we took it as a serious idea. He said, the minute you take something as a serious idea, you think it's capable of happening. And because what happens is what you believe, then you make it happen. And then it looks like what you believe is true. That's how things manifest. So, mighty companion, I'm going to stop here. And I really, really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to say what I needed to hear. I'm going to give about a minute recap in just a minute. I'm a full-time teacher. If you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, I'm going to pass the bag around. Thank you, Mate Gunn. I want to thank you for what you've already given me. I want to thank you for what you've already given me. Thank you very much. If you want to do it online, you can use Zelle, Venmo, the Cash App, and PayPal. Yeah. All you need is my email address, and that's Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. I'm available for counseling and mentoring and coaching. And so therefore, if you have some issue, some situation that you know you're ready to look at another way, and you know you're ready to have another way of releasing it and letting it go, think about having a one-on-one clarity session with me. Okay? There are no original problems. 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 There's just one problem that looks like a lot of different problems. What? There's just one problem that looks like it's a lot of different problems. So there is an answer to what you're going through. There is an answer and a solution to what you think you're going through. There is a way out of what you think you're going through that might be causing you any kind of unhappiness. Have a clarity session with me. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com. You can get all the details, and you can self-book an appointment with me right online. You can book a self-appointment with me right online. Those of you who are open and receptive to the more psychic, intuitive side of spirit and getting information, I'm also an astrologer and a numerologist. And so those who are interested in receiving information in that way, then you can also go to my website and also get an appointment with me. Like I say every week, I'm just here to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because Spirit who sent me will direct me and teach me to heal. Teach me to heal. As I let Spirit teach me to heal, that's how I heal. And I love it that you all give me an opportunity to practice everything that this book is telling me that I need to practice in order to be happy, because everything it asks me to practice with you all doesn't require your cooperation. That's the one thing you want to do with people as much as possible, things that don't require their cooperation. Try to do things with people that does not require their cooperation. Try to do things with people that does not require their cooperation for you to be happy. Do things with people that it doesn't require their cooperation for you to feel peace. And you know what will happen to you? You'll start attracting people to you who want to cooperate with you. It's the weirdest thing. The minute you let go of your addiction to everybody doing anything you want them to do, you'll be amazed at how fast people start showing up that want to do the things you used to try to manipulate into existence. Wow. So you end up not losing anything. So I'm asking for more excitement in my life about the truth. So I'm going to give more excitement in my life about the truth. I want to join with more and more people like yourselves. People who get excited with the truth. I want to join with the people that Spirit sees as being my teachers and my students. I'm asking you, I'm calling you forth. I want to teach you. I want to work with you. I want to be a messenger for God in truth and love with the Course in Miracles at a much deeper level. I'm calling forth those who receive this best through the way that Spirit comes through me. I'm calling you forth. And Bubba, who owes me $10. Don't go it.
Past is gone.
Hey, what you mean the past is gone? That's right, my money, that $10 gone. Yep. I need to find out what the present 10 is. Hand me that basket. Hand me that bag. Let me see. See if I got a present 10 in there. I know. He says, when you see this correctly, you're going to laugh. You know, and that's how I know that my perception hasn't been very correct recently. Right, because I wasn't happy. Right? So at least I know what to do when I'm not. I do. All right, so 1 o'clock on Sundays, Mountain Time, right here on the Earl Purdy page, is you can come in, if you're in Denver, 1555 Race Street, you can come and drop in online. It's on the Earl Purdy page. And then on Thursdays, I do Hardcore Course in Miracles on Facebook Live. Hardcore Course in Miracles on Facebook Live. And so that is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And on the Earl Purdy page, and I upload all of my classes to YouTube. I have hundreds and hundreds of classes on YouTube. So I'm trying to be helpful. I want Spirit to be out there through me every way that it can, and I appreciate you, so much. More than to get an opportunity, at least for an hour, a little more than an hour, to actually say something other than what regular people talk about, including myself. To me, that is such. I cannot tell you how relaxing it is to hear something except what needs to change in the world. You know, I'm tired of hearing about it. So I got to stop talking about it. I want to talk about what needs to change in me, what needs to change in us. What can we do to make the world a better place? You know, that's so much more important to me now than talking about the problem all the time. The Course says the best way in the world to make sure a problem isn't solved is to take you out of the equation. You want to make sure your problem doesn't think it has nothing to do with you. All those relationships, who's the common denominator? Could it be you? Everywhere I go in my life, I'm there. So you want to let all the people in your life be guides to joy. And since they've received the joy of you, then they are going to keep it and they're going to give it back to you. So what is that? What are you saying, Earl? All I want you to do is come up with as many ways as possible that you can be a joy in the lives of the people around you. And the easiest way for you to be a joy for the people around you is to let yourself be happy. Let yourself be happy. Let yourself be happy. Let yourself be happy. Let everybody in your life be born again to you. Let everybody in your experience be born again to you by not holding the past against them as much as you possibly can. Did you say as much as I possibly can? Yeah, Earl, you mean I'm not going to be able to pull it off all the time? That's right. You're not going to be able to pull off letting go of the past all the time. But what you want to do is set that as a goal, because you want to call forth that happiness and that joy that they can give you. And the only way you're going to get happiness and joy out of a person is to believe that it's there in the first place and make your job finding the happiness and the love that's already there. Then you establish these people as your guide to peace. So who are you supposed to follow to peace? Who are you supposed to follow to peace? How can I tell when I'm in the presence of my guide? How can I tell when I'm in the presence of my guide? When you're in the presence of your guide, you're in the presence of someone that's peaceful. When you're in the presence of your guide, you're in the presence of someone that's peaceful. Someone that's angry is not your personal guide. Someone that's attacking is not your personal guide. Someone who believes in lack and separation and sickness is real, that is not your personal guide. Your guide is peace. Your guide is peace. So how can you tell when you're listening to the right voice? How can you tell when you're listening to the right voice? You can tell when you're listening to the right voice by how much peace you feel. You can tell when you're listening to the right voice by how much peace you feel. You can tell when you're listening to the correct voice in you by how much peace that you feel. And so you are establishing everybody around you as a guide to your peace, because you are making peace manifest in them. How do you make peace manifest in a person? How do you get peace out of a person? You get peace out of a person by looking for the peace in them, and you being peaceful yourself. You being peaceful yourself. You being peaceful yourself will call, truly peaceful yourself will call forth the peace out of the other person. And since you see the beauty of that peace, and since you feel the joy of that peace, then that peace is so beautiful that it's going to call you home. You're going to have a peace that's so fulfilling and so satisfying that it's going to call you to love. Love is going to make everything so satisfying. It's going to be so satisfying to you that you won't even be able to help following love. Love is the ultimate Pied Piper. So you are the Pied Piper instead of the Fried Piper. Mighty companions, may the course be with you. I love y'all so much. It's 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday night. Hardcore Course in Miracles on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. Put your clothes on.